following up on our commitments to the people, making your future work better.
South Africa, the Rainbow Nation, a land of hope, prosperity and possibilities, and one of the best constitutions in the world. However, a threat of a scourge of gender-based violence and femicide has become a daily experience for women and children in the country. Women across our land have become sacrificial lambs to the savages of this daily scourge. Numbers are drawn, presented and reported daily, monthly, and so forth. Unfortunately, these numbers are bodies of women and children buried in graves to become a feast to the worm, while others are scarred for life from harassment and sexism in the workplace and other jurisdictions. The loud cry of women, our daughters, have become a sweet song to the perpetrators across the breadth and length of our land. According to the report presented to the Portfolio Committee of Police by the Minister of Police Services recently, that significant decline in the crimes such as sexual assault and sexual offences has been realized. A high number of gender-based violence and femicide cases remains a concern, which therefore call for an urgent attention and must be nipped in the bud. This was reported during the fourth quarter of 2021-2022 at the release of the crime statistics in February. Looking at the comparative numbers year on year, it does appear that there was a decline comparing the numbers for rape, sexual assault, and attempted sexual assault from April 2021 to March 2022. An increase is also realized on quarterly basis. For instance, sexual assault cases increased from 1,900 in quarter 1 to 2,165 in quarter 4, and the same trend is with domestic violence related cases. Recently, the South African Medical Research Council also released the findings of the third National Femicide Study, which examined women murdered in 2017, with previous studies undertaken in 1999 and 2009. The 2017 study's focus was on whether there is any evidence that the national efforts to combat gender-based violence and femicide are having any impact on the problem of femicide ravaging the lives of the women currently. Furthermore, research has revealed an estimation of a total of 2,407 women aged 14 years and older were murdered in South Africa that year, with the South African Police Services data for the period of 1 April 2017 to 31 March 2018 indicating that a total of 2,930 women aged 18 and older were murdered, as well as 294 girls. Meanwhile, compared with the World Bank data on international homicides of females, which indicates that as at 2018, the global average per 100,000 of the female population was 2.2, whilst the figure for South Africa was reported at 9.5 per 100,000 women. Also on the global front, research by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime in 2020 global estimates relating to the killings of women and girls by intimate partners or family members reveals a global rate of 1.2 per 100,000 of the female population. The rate is highest in Africa at 2.7 per 100,000 of female population. Based on this data and figures, it is evident that safety and security, particularly of women, remains a great concern. Parliament of South Africa continues to engage this challenge in the country through robust oversight and public participation mechanisms. In June of 2021, Parliament passed 3 bills to curb gender-based violence and femicide, namely Criminal and Related Matters Amendment Bill, Domestic Violence Amendment Bill, and the Criminal Law, Sexual Offences and Related Matters Amendment Act Amendment Bill. These bills came into being subsequent November 2018 Presidential Summit Against Gender-Based Violence and Femicide, which suggested fast-tracking of the review of existing laws and policies. Campaigns such as 16 Days of No Violence Against Women and Children, Women, Men and Children's Parliament, and passing of appropriate laws are used to enhance other programs by Parliament of South Africa as part of its mandate. The National Strategic Plan on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide and the development and resourcing of the Council in this regard are also key areas recommended for monitoring, evaluation, and oversight. A clear decision has also in addition been taken for societal change through education and awareness as a priority to curb the ills of gender-based violence and femicide. Zero-tolerance attitudes and policies against gender-based violence and femicide are also available, and implementation thereof is encouraged in private and public spaces. Parliament, through the Portfolio Committee on Women, Youth and People with Disabilities, encouraged the establishment of the National Council on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide by the Department of Women, Youth and People with Disabilities, which is based in the Presidency. The Department of Justice and Correctional Services are encouraged to do their all to swiftly resolve cases of gender-based violence and femicide. Gender-based violence and femicide is a serious scourge coupled with harassment and sexism on women. It's not particularly a one-country challenge, but of the world. As for South Africa, Africa, and the world, an immediate solution by all for all must be found and implemented. We can. It is possible. Parliament, following up on our commitments to the people, making your future work better.